Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Okay, let me get some started real quick. And Nabi back again. Okay, let me get some started real quick. And I'm about to let you know. Okay, let me get some. I'm about to let you know. Okay, there we go. And here we are here. Okay, so I want to take a minute to allow the other brothers to come on board. So while I do that, I'm going to go back to the old way I used to do this thing. Hey, what's up? Choose your own path. I don't know if I'm being blocked or whatever. I expected more people here by now. I usually start this at 9, but decided to start it at 8 because of the time difference. So I'm guessing a lot of people are going thinking this is going to start at 9. But hopefully they came on, looked, saw, and so in the meantime, while we wait on, okay, here they're starting to pop in. What's up, David Bowman? What's up, Rayshawn? Okay, while we are waiting for them to pop on, let me get to this real quick. Um, Start off with a public service announcement. Okay, and I'm gonna put this out front, this public service announcement, because it is very, very significant. It's very, very significant that the U.S. government is using every means in its arsenal to keep men, all men in the U.S. All right, and it's the first thing we're going to talk about. There are some wow that pop up that we are going to discuss here. Now, if it blinks out and there's a out that I'm gonna close the system off, and it'll take about 2 minutes, and I will restart the system. So, okay, so understand this. I just want to put this out there right now. that I'm waiting on a scan to finish. And then when the scan finishes, what I'm going to do is clean some stuff out and then restart the stream. All right. And so I will let y'all know when that happens. But while we wait for others to come on, we'll give them a little bit of time and have our little musical interlude. Compliments of YouTube. I would like to mention that a lot of you might receive messages from him. He is a brother that is from Canada, but now lives here in Brazil. All right, so let's just like this. Dang. All right, so I'm gonna close this out for a hot second. Give me about three minutes, and then everybody just come back in. All right, the live stream will not go away. All right, but I need to close my browser. All right, babe. All right, everyone. Okay, so if y'all can refresh your browser if you need to. Refresh your browser if you need to. All right. If you need to refresh your browser, refresh your browser if you need to. All right. So, So the first thing I want to get into with those of you who are here is that our government is making deals with other countries in order to keep us here and keep us from marrying other women, you know, giving these dusty women a play. And remember that at this time, our government is primarily run by women. I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to understand that. Hey, what's up, David Bowman? What's up, Rashawn? Demaloo, Mr. Patterbrain. All right. I want you to understand that. Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, that's who's running our government. Y'all really don't know. And Barack, well, given recent revelations, there might be a reason he never really had love for a brotherly love for the straight Afro men and straight men in general. Right? Take that for what it's worth. Everything is in question. Barack, Michelle, and everything is in question simply because the media primarily lied to us. These platforms like YouTube, Facebook have lied. Not only did they lie, but they intentionally, causing death, kept the truth from people. Everybody is paying everybody else off for a narrative. Understand this. Everyone is paying everyone off for a narrative. Hiding truth, doing all kind of wickedness. And for what? Y'all, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but the advisors in the White House are primarily women. Remember, I kept telling y'all, when we get to a point where things are run just by women, there will be no justice, because I keep saying this, in their nature, they see things only for the good of women, primarily starting with themselves first. And the rest of the world, United States, and everything else could go to hell in a handbasket. So the advisors, the Vice President, Nancy Pelosi, and Hillary Clinton, those are your top leaders. You would think that you have the Senate, but the Senate, the people, actually Kamala Harris is in charge of the Senate, and you had a bunch of spineless Democrats that followed their every whim anyway. Hey, what's up, Carlos? All right, so I want y'all to understand that before we get into this. Now, why do I mention this? Why do I do this? Remember, I put Southeast Asia, like Taiwan and the Philippines, on the map as far as finding a good woman. All right, this is only if you stay in the Philippines and Taiwan. Now, we as Afro men have better options. All right, but let me tell you this. Let me say this. The United States put up a website informing the Philippines and Southeast Asia how to go after men for, you guessed it, child support. Hold on for a second. Let me look at this. Rick. See if Rick is up here. All right. Now, I'm not the one that came up with this. Hold on for a second. This dude name is Rick Dreyer on TikTok. Hold on for a second. There we go.
Love with somebody from the Philippines or Thailand. That is wonderful. And it's true love, of course. So y'all want to have a baby. A baby! And let's say it doesn't work out. Understand you are still responsible for that baby. And also understand raising the baby is not going to be judged on Thailand or Philippine standards. And they know this, man. A buddy of mine is paying $1,200 in child support. Fun fact, the U.S. has a website dedicated to international child support. And they go by U.S. standards. And you have to pay till they're 20. 20! So you have to stop and think. Would they rather keep banging your old ass or get that $1,200 a month? Remember, if you're ugly here, you're also ugly there. Whoop whoop!
I just wanted to put that up for you. It says a lot about the United States that not only will they extort men in the United States, these women running the government, all right, that's convincing these spineless men that's running the government to allow everybody to rob everybody in the U.S. They take our tax dollars, they give it to everybody else. All right, 500,000 across the border. All right, and then they put out a website allowing the only country that does this. The U.S. is the only country that allow other countries to extort their men. Why? Because the United States, under the different Democrats and white people, are starting to realize it, have become a slave state for the men. And if you don't think that is so, they don't use whip anymore. They use our wallets. They use our wallets and let any woman in the world extort the American man. Very little to do with color, but this is what's going on. They allow women in the world. Now, not every country has this agreement with the United States. And understand this. The fact that United States would give women of another country judgment, U.S. judgment, United States judgment, shows you how wicked and evil this government is in the United States. And when men run out of reason, see that there's nothing to live for in the country, but it's their country, and since the government is trying to destroy men, when they fight back, the men said we have nothing left to lose. Why? Because we have nothing to lose. We have nothing left to lose. All right. And so this is how it goes. This is a plantation, the corporation of the United States. The corporation of the United States has become or is becoming a slave plantation for the men, whereby the women are the slave masters or the slave managers, and the whip is their access to our wallet. In other words, the United States says to the man, you don't work for your family anymore because we stripped you of that. You don't you don't have any rights anymore because we stripped you of that and put the women in charge. Oh, and by the way, who's running everything? Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. And when you look at the White House and look at all their speakers and advisors, you'll see two spineless men, but the rest of them are women. Done. I fear by the time they get done, I wouldn't be surprised if we are in a bloody civil war. That there would be holds barred. That's my fear. All right. So that's what's going on. All right. That's what's going on. They're figuring out ways to extort them, to keep them here on this plantation. And if we leave this plantation, they're giving women of other countries the power to extort us. The women have the power to extort us here. And even with this, these women are still not worth it. These women are still not worth it for this reason. Most, especially if we're talking about the black, so-called black woman in the black community, statistically, most of them are single mothers, which means that if you are a man, you're going there, and if you marry her, you've just taken on responsibility of another man's child, where since they divorce at the rate of since 70% of the divorces or 80% of divorces are the women, and 80% particularly are the BWs. All right. Not only do you end up paying for your child if you have them, what's up, One Loyal King, but you may end up paying for another man's child. That happens all the time. Women can go just yell out a name when she's having a baby, and the courts will hit that man up, like that man in arrear $30,000, and the black female judge was telling him, you need to pay this child support. You should think about the child. He ain't the daddy. And she know that the whole judicial system is corrupt. The government is corrupt, especially on the Democratic side. But let's not forget the Republicans, because they're not holding people to task. Really, you got a lot of political theater, but no one is holding any of the people that is destroying the country accountable. Any of the people that's lying, they're not being held accountable. Now, in other news, there are 1,000 doctors and 10,000 of something other people. No, it's 10,000 doctors something. But anyway, they are gearing up to start the Nuremberg trials too. Only they're going after the governments of the world. They're going after the governments of the world. And that's something, the Nuremberg trials is something that the WHO, the CDC, and all of that can't control. When people think they have enough evidence to show mass genocide at the hand of the governments, and people are going to be in line. People are looking at what the government is doing to the people in Australia. And if you are a thinking person, you understand that that's what these people in the Democratic Party want to do to us in the United States. They got one massive problem. That at least half, but more than half of the American people have decided there's no way in hell ever are we going to give up guns. And they had decided to read the Second Amendment, which is real short. It is real short, deliberate, and straight to the point. The rights of the people to bear arms should not be infringed. It didn't say the rights of the militia. It didn't say they had to be in a militia. As a matter of fact, it specifically made a statement about the militia, comma, and these are some writers, these are some writers back then. All right. But, comma, and then said, but the rights of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. And that was so that they can defend themselves against a tyrannical government or any government that does not or any other government that does not represent the people. And we can all agree that neither Congress, the judicial system, the Democratic Party, and part of the Republican Party, they don't represent the people. They're doing work for Pfizer. You see the news, everything is brought to you by Pfizer. Aaron Burnett, brought to you by Pfizer. CNN, brought to you by Pfizer. MSNBC, brought to you by Pfizer. Y'all put two together. All right? Put two and two together. Let me get to something else real quick. I want to show you something. I want to show you something, but I'm going to wait. Let me show you this real quick. I'm going to show y'all real quick. For those of you that don't know. All right. So basically, remember I told y'all I think this is it.
Vê se seu nome tá certo.
Oh snap! Oh. All right. Remember I told you, and this is where the title of this video, go where you're appreciated instead of tolerated. All right. So I go into Villa Alianza, and let me tell you, stuff is rough all over Brazil. All right. The communities have cut off the streets. Found this out by being in a ride with Uber. All the streets are guarded. I go by to see the people in Villa Alianza. I'm going to tell you what's going on. Because you might hear part of that conversation going on here. I'm wondering what's going down. All right. And we're talking about all over the outskirts of Rio, in the outskirts of Rio. And I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. So I'm sitting down talking to one of the brothers and the guard dude. And this is why it's hard for me to take people with you. Because if you're walking down the street, you will have guns pointed at you until they can identify you. And then they'll point their guns in another direction. So you will have guns pointed at you if you are walking down the street at the time where these guys are just on duty. All right. Now, unfortunately, they have scopes, so they can make it. And I wear stuff like this. I wear loud stuff. So people and my backpack kind of gives me away. All right. So they recognize me right away. And you just keep walking. Don't be afraid. Just keep walking. But as I go to sit down to talk to everybody, the guy that's guarding, he'll talk to me, say, hey, what's up, and stuff like that. And I know that he have a job to do. So I don't talk to them too long. I don't talk to them too long. I just sit down. And so basically, as I'm sitting down, yeah, Flamingo, see, as I'm sitting down, a white van comes. It's a FedEx driver. He halts the van, makes the driver get out of the van, open the door and step to the side. Then he goes, points the weapon in the van, checking it. He like, okay, it's okay. It's all good. You can get back in your van and you can go. And the FedEx guy knows the deal. I knew things are bad when I have a hard time getting an Uber to go to Bangu. So if I have a lot of stuff to bring up to, like, and brother Texas Marine, we had a whole lot of soccer balls. So I use an Uber to take it up there because I'm taking like 2 bags. So I'm not going to get on a train like that. And you know, a lot of Ubers will cancel. Now, so I'm in the barbershop. I'm in the barbershop next to the old NGO, the one that was shot full of bullets. So I'm here in the favela, and they're presenting me with a shirt with my name on it. All right. Yeah. Oh, man. Certo. Okay. So. Sim, certo. Okay. So I'm here, and so these are the. So do começar So the community did this for me and gave it to the barber, and the barber presented it to me today. Or was that yesterday? What did I do today? Did I go anywhere today? That was yesterday. Sorry, my mind, look, my body's here, but my mind's somewhere else. My mind is asleep. I'm going to just be real. My mind's asleep. All right? So they presented this to me. Time futebol.
Não, time de futebol não.
Okay.
Não,
well, eu quero muitos futebols, bolas para time. And y'all see me speaking Spanish, Portuguese at the same time. Right? It'll be like this for about a week. Also, para levar no hotel. Because me não aqui. me corpo aqui, me outro lugar. Okay, so I'm para semana. All right, so I brought stuff for the adults. muchos, mi amigos tienen grande. I was like, ¿qué aconteceu? But ele trabaja, so yo lleva. Yo falo contigo tarde. But but anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on. And so, and y'all can see that I'm struggling because it's Taji, right? And so I have to, it'll take me a week of talking to everybody and being back in the community because I'm still thinking in Spanish. All right. So, and remember, the last thing I was with was Shelly and the woman by the pool. And so that's my last thought. But that'll all go away by next week, probably by Friday. Because Friday will be where I go up and take the balls and deliver them to the teams and blow them up. And then a lot of the children are just going to be hollering at me anyway. Oh, no, that's tomorrow. The community is seriously guarded by teams with machine guns. And so they're checking everything, right? But it's all good. Because when I walk in, I can walk freely because it's good to you can make relations. Okay, so what I was explaining on TikTok is because of the relationships that I have, all right, that I can walk in freely. I could probably drive in too. If I'm in Selmina's car, we can drive in, right? If I rented the car, I can drive in, but I would have to make sure I wind all my windows down. All right, and because I'm easily recognized now. Almost everyone knows who I am because of the children. Well, everybody knows who I am because I'm cool with just a lot of the people there, and a lot of the people know other people, so they know who I am. Okay, so they know who I am. So now let's get into more of this. Okay, more of what's going on. And you will see a pattern here. You will see a pattern. The first pattern is this. The reason why I keep giving Brazil a chance, because the community check the women, especially when they F over really good men, they will check the women, right? The women, as a habit in Brazil, will not extort Afro men. Because even though they have these websites and stuff like that, they don't pay attention to America like that unless they have been Americanized already, to the point where they pay attention to all things America. All right, so understand that. So as we go down here, all right, let me see, what did I call it? Oh, okay, I got it. All right, pay attention to this. All right, and then we're going to go down and look at all these things.
74% of women said they would not date a man that has kids. Of those 74% of women that said that, 87% had kids themselves. So these women want you to accept them with kids, with an attitude, with a bitchy sense of whatever they have in their head, because they think they're so much better because they're always told they are. But if a man has kids, 74% of women won't even bother to date him. Yeah.
Now, I want y'all to understand what he said. The reason why these women think too high of themselves, because we had the misfortune of having too many simps like Dr. Umar who attack men who date outside of the Afro community, stay silent about Venus Williams and Serena Williams, who dishonored their father, who trained them to have all that money that they're now giving to the Caucasian man. And Dr. Umar is worried about who's getting the Afro man's money when he's dead. While that Afro man was able to enjoy his family and wife while he was alive, but the BW would have divorced him 5 years in had he been with them. I want y'all to understand this. And he mentions Kobe Bryant, but that woman stuck with him. And not for the money. She comes from a different culture, but so-called black people like Dr. Umar don't understand that, and he don't understand it because he don't want to. Because to understand the culture of women that just don't divorce just because, you have to admit that the BWs are not loyal to anything and don't get with a man to control him. Period. So let's break some more stuff down. So there is this thing.
Guys you prefer? Scammer, drug
Remember
dealer,
this.
or 9 to 5?
Drug dealer.
No
I want him to
hesitation.
move that way.
I told the world I prefer 9 to 5, but I really want to scam her in my heart. No funny shit.
What are the type of guys you prefer? Scammer, drug dealer, or 9 to 5?
Drug dealer.
No
I want him to
hesitation.
move that way.
I told the world I prefer 9 to 5, but I really want to scam her in my heart. No funny shit. Because
1, 2, and 3.
Scammer 3,
Okay.
drug dealer 2,
9 to 5.
9 to 5, 1.
And they both agree.
All my 9 to 5 fellas, we
They're
are winning.
working.
All us 9 to 5, we're
They
winning right
are
now.
working. You are working.
Your best.
scammer at the top.
Why do men?
Scammer at the top. So scammer, no, drug dealer, scammer. The other girl walking by agreed, scammer. The Caucasian and Hispanic woman, 9 to 5, because they are working. They're doing the best they can. The other black woman, scammer, at the top. Think about that. I want y'all to really think about that. All right, now, this is how lost the BW are, and this is the risk that they are to us as Afro men. Remember the simple question that they can't answer. The simple question that they cannot answer.
Black men in the comments section saying, oh, you have all these high demands, but what do you bring to the table?
Okay, I'm stitching her original TikTok because it's created a conversation that I've been thinking about for some time. A lot of men are stitching it and commenting like, oh, we don't care about your finances, we don't care about your career, etc. Which I 100% understand. I get it. You make your own money. There's no reason for guys to care. So my question is, when guys ask a lady what she brings to the table, what exactly do they want to know? If she's caring, compassionate, can birth children? Like, what exactly are y'all looking for when y'all ask that question? Because it's always in a context of, oh, women just want to spend men's money. What do you bring to the table? You know? So somebody please answer. I'm just curious.
Now she's just curious. But do y'all understand how pitifully sad this is that she don't know? How pitifully, ridiculously sad this is that she don't know. Remember, I'm black. Do y'all understand how pitifully sad this is? She literally has no idea. She does not have any idea and one must have to ask yourself, is it even worth it? Now, y'all remember this. I'm just going to put it up. She has no idea, along with the rest of the so-called BWs. They're in discussion about even being asked the question. I want y'all to think about that for a second. They are having this question about even being asked that question. How do you put yourself in a place where you have gone so far away from the desires of Afro men that you don't even know what they desire anymore, because the only damn person you thought about was not your children, not the community, not the Afro man. The only thing that the BW has thought about were themselves, and only themselves, at the expense of the community, children, Afro men, legacy, and future of all of that, to include their own future. They only thought of themselves in the moment. Didn't teach their daughters a damn thing. They can't teach their sons anything. Think about it. Understand how this is easy for the Hispanic woman. The black woman on the left was insulted that she would even be asked to bring something to the table for the Afro men that would make him happy, because they don't know Afro men, because they don't need to know it, because the government is their real man. Pookie is second.
So I don't know about other women, but as for me, I bring my life to my husband. From my youth to my old age, I dedicate my life to my husband. I bring centuries of culture that has been brought down from all the women in my family that I will teach to our children, my husband's children. I want to say I bring my ears to listen, my body to serve, to him, and only him. Be an assistant, personal assistant, business assistant, any assistant that my husband needs, whatever he needs me for, I'm here for him. So I think, but for me, I think the most important thing in our case is that centuries old teaching that is brought down from grandmother to mother to daughter to my future children, is the ability to pass down those things for our children and our traditions and culture to move on into the future. And like I said, I'm a personal assistant to my husband, and I'm here and willing to serve. So I don't know.
Oh, And you can see how uncomfortable, what she was saying was making those black women feel. Hold on for a second. You see how really, what's up, Backwoods Rider? You can see how really uncomfortable that this made the black women feel. Her name is Amiri. Okay, and the one start arguing with the men on the panel. The other one said some stuff. The other man was like, "Nah, that's not it, because it's all about you. Is it he do something for you, then you do it." And the reason why she's going to keep her husband, and she said her husband and their children. This is why. So the black woman don't, as we know in our experiences. And y'all can answer this. Y'all can say you right or wrong if you want. But in our experience, they kept saying that these are my kids until they want money. How come you don't take care of your kids when they go to court and want them to up his child support? The BW honestly do not know what the Afro man means when he say, "What do you bring to the table?" Because they thought the globe evolved around them, and it only revolved around them because of the week's finest men like a Dr. Umar and all the rest of them, Boyce, all of them, who kept filling their heads up with erroneous air, blaming all of their decisions on the majority of Afro men when their decisions was to sleep with only the minority that were felons. Remember, the BW statistically, 59% of them, almost 60%, but 59, greater than 50%, so we can say most of them have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies. And most of the babies' daddies are dudes that came out of prison or jail. Those are the statistics. And by most, we mean greater than at least 61%. But when we talk about the Afro community, who are usually 10 points higher than everybody else in the negative category, we can say probably more at 70% of the children produced by those women, produced by those dudes coming out of jail in the Afro community, about 70 is the rate is probably 70%. Okay, let me play it again. One more again. One more time.
To the table, what do you realistically do other than sex?
I can only speak for myself. I don't know about other women, but as for me, I bring my life to my husband. From my youth to my old age, I dedicate my life to my husband. I bring centuries of culture that has been brought down from all the women in my family that I will teach to our children, my husband's children. I bring my ears to listen, my body to serve, to him and only him. I bring my ability to be an assistant, personal assistant, business assistant, any assistant that my husband needs, whatever he needs me for, I'm here for him. So, but for me, I think the most important thing in our case is that centuries old teaching that is brought down from grandmother to mother to daughter to my future children, is the ability to pass down those things for our children and our traditions and culture to move on into the future. And like I said, I'm a personal assistant to my husband, and whatever he needs, I'm here, obedient and willing to serve. So, I don't know.
She passed down centuries of history. The BW destroyed centuries of history. Like, for instance, I bet y'all didn't know that the Civil War soldiers, the Black Civil War soldiers, went to Mexico to help liberate the Mexicans from the Spanish. See, one dude, I really like his thing. He calls himself Moses on TikTok, right? But he really doesn't know a lot when it comes to history. All right. Philosophically, he is sound on a lot of issues. All right. But a lot of times he put up the black woman trope. Oh, the black woman, the black man ain't never fought for us, which is bull. All throughout history, when you look at the wars and rebellions that we learned about in history, when we was learning history instead of critical race theory. Y'all know that critical race theory was a legal thing. First of all, it's a theory. So that means a theory is a theory. It's not a law. It's not absolute truth. It's not even truth. It's a theory of likely truth that needs to be proven. A hypothesis is the question, but when you get enough evidence, you think, okay, we could look and see if this is going to be a provable truth, but you haven't done that yet, so it stays a theory. It's no longer a question, but there's enough evidence to make it a provable truth. So now it's a theory. Right? So critical race theory was about police brutality. And this is another thing. I can't stand when these sellout simps, only they're simping for the Republican Party, get up there and say there were more police shootings of white people and police killings of white people than black people. And I explained that's an idiotic, stupid thing to say. White people outnumber so-called black people by a lot. We are only 12% of the population. 58% of that is female. That means the male is 44%. Ooh, that's that bad math, 42%. The Afro male is only 42%. So we're 2% of the 12% that we are of the population. The Caucasians are 64% of the population right now. So if the police are going to have run-ins, they are more likely to have more run-ins with Caucasian people than Afro people. But you get these cells that sold their souls to a political party that didn't look at the whole truth and say to themselves, what is the percentage of the population that the police takes out through homicide? And when you look at the Caucasians, it's a drop in the bucket. When you look at how many Afro people they're killing now, it's significant. All right. We are taught to look at everything from the lenses of Caucasians in the desire to be like them or join them. I'm not trying to join them. As a matter of fact, I don't want them joining me. I want them to be them because I like the them that they are. All right. I don't have a problem with racists because in the South, they be up front with it. I'd be like, I ain't going to Biden already. I know they don't want me there. Hey, I'm cool with it. Unlike the Democrats that act like your friends, and then they be the ones stringing you. You understand? They be the ones suiciding you. Yes, the BWs will do Caucasians better than brothers because they belong to the system created by so-called Chad. Right? This is why I say we need to leave them alone. And we have options. All right? So this whole thing goes into that. They have no protection now because the Afro men are waking up. We're not dealing with them because they have children. We don't know whose children they are. We just know whose children they're not. And they're not our children. All right? And so we're stacking paper and we're trying to leave, and the government is trying to keep us from doing it. And even with them allowing other women of other countries to extort us, there's a way around it. But even with the government allowing women of other countries to extort American men, is another reason why it is really not worth it to lay down roots with these women here. They are showing us that they don't give a damn about men. We built up a world that they can live comfortably in, and they think it won't deteriorate. All right. Hey, what's up, Jamal? They think it won't deteriorate. Oh, but it will. And I say the men need to go on strike. Not only from the females. Hey, what's up, the Rockton? Not only from the females, but from building and taking care of stuff. What would happen if the men just drop what they're doing in everything? We're not going to fix anything. We're not going to build anything back up. Remember the women that built the bridge in Florida, that walkway bridge in Florida in 6 hours, and it collapsed and killed 6 people? Remember that? That story went away from the news real quick. A lot of us made videos about it. They built for aesthetics and to prove that they could do something faster than men. Whereas men don't care how fast they do it. They want to do it safe because it got their name on it. But females don't care about a name. Oh, you know why they don't care? Because that news story went away. How many of y'all remembered that without me reminding you about it? In a matter of decades, since the 70s, thank you for that, the BW has destroyed our whole entire history to the point where children growing up in their homes do not know who started the KKK. I want y'all to understand, and that is by design. Let's not get it twisted. That's by design. All right. But children growing up in the homes of the BW Hey, I'm ready when you are. Children don't know who started. Children don't know who started Jim Crow politically, who designed Jim Crow, the poll taxes and stuff, started the KKK, birth of a nation, because this was the Democrats. And our old heads that follow the Democrats in anything decided to keep that information from us so that we would vote for the people that persecuted us the most. We would vote for the people that made the laws that persecuted us and destroyed our community. We are going extinct because of abortion, but that was created by the eugenics program and the Democrats. The sad thing about it is they're worried about it now because while the BWs were deleting the Afro community, the Caucasian women were doing the same to theirs. All right. Hey, what's up, Ella Purrs Most High? Okay. All right. And so basically, there's some things we're going to address, right? And we're going to get into a lot of stuff right now. I got Brother Roddy Benoit waiting to pop in. All right. And I just got one more thing to present, right? And I want to show y'all this so that y'all can get an understanding. All right. We have options. All right. And Brother Roddy Benoit is going to explain Brazil. All right. So we have options. All right. I saw a Somali woman and I was curious about them. Somalia is a Muslim country. All right. And this is representative of them. For those of us that like them dark or brown, we got this option. Being it's a Muslim country, they have been trained to respect men. Being that most of us are spiritually guided, this is a match. I asked the question to the woman in question about what's going on there, and I'm gonna wait for a reply. So I know a woman, she's very beautiful too, from Somalia. All right. So this is Somalia. Everybody has all different hues of women. All right. There, even in the United States, you can't call a woman that has been given the moniker of black woman a black woman, because a lot of the mothers mixed with the Caucasians. A lot of the Caucasians came over and R-word a lot of women. So a lot of them had melanin taken from them. But it's all about the quality of the heart than the color of the skin. Okay, and so this is Palenque. And in Palenque, you would think that you're going to get just straight up Afro black, but remember, Palenque is in Colombia. All right, so you will get hues in Palenque, Colombia. And I say Palenque, Colombia, because we already know in Colombia, in Medellin, in Barranquilla, in Bogota, in Cartagena, you'll get a variation. But even Palenque, not so much. More on the left, but there are a few pockets on the right. All right. What we don't have to deal with is the run through that prefer thugs. You heard them say it. Thugs and what was it? Scammers. Right? We don't have to deal with this. All right. And so basically, again, we're talking about Somalia here. All right. So we do Ghana all the time and this, that, and the other. But Somalian women are beautiful. But the other thing about them and their beauty is this, that it's a Muslim country. So we got North Africa, South Africa, Central Africa. All right. So this will get you in trouble. All right. It's not worth it. We're like, yeah, it look good, but it's not worth it. All right. Me, myself, I prefer this dark one because you know me. I prefer this dark one on the left, and I'm not going near this one on the right. You see what I'm saying? And so the BWs in America aren't the only BWs in the world. But these clowns are trying to get you to believe that so that you can stick with the very people that's trying to destroy you. All right, which now brings us to Brazil. And Brother Roddy Benoit, who's really from Canada. All right. So,
can you go in the room for a second?
Okay, while he clears that out. All right, so we know that feminism has destroyed much. All right. Right. And right now we throwing that, and they are worried because nobody wants them in our community because of this betrayal. You see what I'm saying? This betrayal. I guess he'll pop back in. This betrayal is ridiculous. And you got to, okay, there we go. Okay, he was good before. Hey, Brother Rod, you might need to do it again. Within 6 hours, it fell and destroyed and took the lives of people. Or was it an hour? It didn't stay up long. It crashed almost as soon as it was built. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to give you the rundown. All right. Yeah, they're trying to destroy everything, but they can't. They just simply can't. Right? They're trying to just block us. All right. So, hey. Okay, he's probably having a problem with his internet. Okay. Everyone here is trying to sabotage, not only us though, it's all of the men in the United States. The United States government, along with the women, are working real hard to sabotage us. And I say we should just stop building, stop fixing, stop repairing, stop everything, and let the whole country crumble, because that's what it would do. If we went on strike for a day, do you know how bad things would be? If the male police, firemen, it would be bad. It'll be bad. And women will find out. Women usually find out quickly. They don't want to do our job, the job that we do. Uh-huh. All right. So the thing is, I knew that was coming. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. Mr. Pirate Bird. I was thinking about that when I was doing this. I was like, poor representation of the lot. Poor representation of the lot. Okay, I think he's back here with a better connection. Okay, so we was talking about this being on the outskirts. Hey, tell him about the CPF and like, so he's looking for a home and all that stuff. And so we're going to take it there now. We're saying brothers get passports and escape. Now this is the how. This is the how to. Go ahead, Brother Roddy.
Okay, good evening, everyone. For this in 2007, I went to the consulate in Montreal, Canada. And back then, we had to get a visa to go to Brazil for 90 days. And at the same time, I asked for a CPF number. So I fill out, they refer me to your website and fill out the application. 1 week later, they send me my CPF by email. So basically, to get your CPF, you need to go to your consulate where in United States or other place and ask to have a CPF number. And not only they're supposed to give you a CPF number. The only thing regarding the CPF is in Brazil, they use CPF for a lot of different things. And when you don't vote and you have CPF, sometimes they may deactivate the CPF. But that's not a big deal because the CPF to reactivate the CPF, it costs only 6 or 7 reals. So basically that's a $1 half US dollar. So that's not a big deal. But for the CPF, it's good to have a CPF because they use that a lot of time for the tax. And also if you want to have another paper that's RAN, that allow you to purchase a land or house. But at this point, you need to deal with the federal office in Brazil. And later, if you want to buy a land or things like that, you have to deal with a lawyer to make sure everything is okay. So basically, that's the process. But you can. What I always suggest to people when you have planned to move another place, you may also talk to other brothers that's already there, or you can go to a Facebook group and you can ask questions. Is there a lot of Facebook group, expat group? You can ask questions. A lot of people will give you their feedback, what you need to do, what the process, and you get a lot of useful information.
Now, let me ask you this. Okay, so let's say me, for instance. Okay, I come down here 3, 4, maybe 5 months at a time. Would the CPF be beneficial for someone like me?
Yes and no, because if at this point you need a CPF more for tax purpose. If you can use it, but at this point you need to see a lawyer or account.
But see, if I'm just coming down here, staying in hotels, doing my things, maybe sell my houses for a little bit, why would like a traveler like me, right? That's not really staying here, right? It doesn't. So what's the benefit to me to get it? Because I'm not trying to pay Brazilian taxes anyway.
No, you don't really need
But I know this. In certain stores, in certain markets, you get a discount on certain things.
Yes, exactly. You can get a discount. So that's one of the benefit for a traveler. But if you plan to stay long term or retired
You
or
need it.
or to start a business, it's good to have a CPF. But at this point, you need to talk to a lawyer or accountable specialist to give you a discount or to lower your tax.
Mm-hmm.
But for the regular visitor, you don't need that.
Right. And so that's basically it. So and how much does it cost to get the CPF initially? And voting here is compulsory, meaning that everybody votes.
When I did it, it was free. I
Okay,
applied.
but you have to pay each time you don't vote
to renew it to
renew
reactivate
it.
it. But yeah, it's about 6 reais, so maybe $1, $1.50.
Yeah, $1. Yeah, so that's basically it. You don't vote, you pay $1, reactivate your CPF.
Exactly.
All right. So voting in the military here is compulsory for the Brazilians. Now,
Yes.
the CPS to keep it, you must vote to get one.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
So that's the difference.
I know.
The CPF, hold on, let me explain this. The CPS is more like our social security number in the United States.
In Canada too.
And in Canada too. So it's like the social security number.
Exactly.
Does it allow you to work?
You need it. Example, if
you need it to work.
Yes, you need a CPF. And also, by example, if you go to the bank, you need to do a transaction to ask you for CPF. Even for simple form, they will ask you for CPF. The only thing I don't like regarding CPF, it's basically the CPF will track all your activity. So I don't read that part because
that's why I avoided it.
Yes, if you go to you go to buy something to the grocery and you ask for CPF for everything. But when you're a tourist or you're a stranger, a foreigner, you say, "Oh, okay, I don't have it." That's no big deal to do the transaction anyway.
Yeah, because I grocery shop and stuff, and there's places that I could get into. All right, for those of us that carry the blue military ID card. Now, remember back in the day in Europe, it worked as a passport too. We didn't need a passport. And it kind of does that here. It does that still. It's just not recommended because then you get kidnapped by, some unfriendlies. All right. But here, I use it as a form of ID, like a passport. Right. Yeah. When they want my passport, I don't carry my passport. I leave my passport here in my room. All right. I carry my military ID. And so if I need to go into an official building, which some of the times I do, and they take ID, then that's what I give them. All right. And I've had no problems. All right. I'm sure your license, your driver's license would work, but I'm not giving them that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't vote. Oh, Lord. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's how Germany does it. Okay, so that's the CPS and the house buying. And we was talking about the women thing here, that the further away, and I mentioned this, the further away you get from Rio. Oh, Lord, Rio is better than Copacabana. Well, Copacabana is Rio. The further away you get from Rio, all right, the better for you to find a quality woman. We were saying that. But I was saying this, that the women of Colombia, because of the Colombian culture, is more like Ameri, and the Brazilian women are more like the United States. But we were talking about different places and stuff that you can go, like Fortaleza. With some
Belo
of the other
Horizonte,
places, huh?
Belo Horizonte, Belém, Florianopolis. What else? Boom,
Florianopolis.
Maceió, and some people like Sao Paulo, but it's more city to work, like New York. It's a business-oriented city. So, what is people don't understand in Brazil? That's a huge country, and there are more than 210 million people in this country. So, there are a lot of different city, and some city may fit your personality or what you're looking for. If you like Rio, Rio's a great city to have fun, but if you want something cheaper, close to the beach, with new infrastructure, street, and so on, Florianopolis or Maceió or Belo Horizonte is better for you. So depend what you're looking for, and different city have this strength and their weakness. So I suggest the brother to go to different city.
They have some islands around here too, like Guanabara. Guanabara. That's where I go and take the pictures of those birds.
Yeah.
Go to those islands.
To know Brazil, you have to stay for a while, because
and that's the other key.
Yeah, you have to stay for a while. You have to learn the language, the culture, and so on. And the woman, you have two type of women. Some women to have fun, other women's girlfriend material, and you may find the wife material. But like everywhere you go in the world, you need to vent those women.
Yes.
And when a woman like so much the
American
English
way,
culture, American way, that's the right word. And you need to be careful, because a lot of times they catch the feminist virus, and like I say, the Jezebel or renegade mindset. So you need to be careful.
And so this is why I bring up Somalia, right? And so I've always looked at African countries, but Africa is expensive to get to, or I would go. But I would go anyway if I wasn't doing this work here in Brazil, right? And I still may go, because I have a summer to go. You know what I mean? Because I ain't coming here July to August, and because they call me all the time. It's cold. It's cold. I'll be like, I can't. Look, I can't. You know what? I think I might need to leave Selmania an electric blanket. I got two down here. I think I might need an electric blanket.
Well,
I'm gonna leave it because people don't understand. They don't have heaters here.
No, but you can buy a small one and Casa store.
But that's going to run everything up. It's best to get an electric blanket.
Yeah.
You know, be all cozy and toasty.
Right.
Yeah, I had bought one for Mimi. I wonder if she got it. Still got it. But anyway, and so basically, yeah. So they have no heaters here. Gambia is another country with a lot of beautiful women, but when we say beautiful women, the United States got some beautiful women. They're just not. Most of them are single mothers, so that wipes them out. Most of them have the attitude of extorting men, so that takes out the other half. And then what's left? Hey, what's up, young boy? 24. What's left? You know, ain't much left for a righteous man. A man trying to be righteous. Ain't much left. The risk is too great for women who've been programmed by their mothers to destroy men. Men don't mean nothing. Men ain't nothing. Men are disposable. They ain't our kids. They my kids to the women. All right. And I tell them I don't have kids. I have children. So they call them baby goats. See, there is no respect for anything when you look at it. We call children kids a baby goat. We rip them and strip them of a father. And then we blame the majority of men for the things that they're doing while sleeping with only the minority of men. And now everybody's surprised when all the men, to include the thugs, want to leave them alone. Because the thugs wanted to leave them alone too. All the thugs did was run through them and left them alone. That's basically it. And why do the thugs run through these women and leave them alone? Because they know that the only place these women are running back to is to them. When they go to jail, or need somebody to hold their illegal product, this is how you can tell the BW loves them. They literally love the wickedness and don't love the 9 to 5, as we say, the regular man.
But I think is there something else?
Yeah, well,
another reason is because they know they can control those guys. If the guy don't have any skills or don't have a place to stay.
I mentioned this.
Yeah, so that's a form of control also.
Yeah, you can control somebody that don't have a house and ain't going to run out and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're easily controlled. And so
because on one more thing, we see educated or businesswoman dating those guys. So for me, it makes no sense, but it's a form of control. But a man, let's say a man at same level to a businesswoman, you will not tolerate all the bullshit or the lack of respect. It would just walk away, or deal with another woman.
Which leads
but
to
those
this.
Those guys don't have so much option. So,
which leads to this, that the thugs are the BW's karma. The thugs are the BW's karma. All right. Now that the thugs done did their thing to them, everybody's looking, oh yeah, that's who you slept with, so we don't want you. You're not wife material. You see what I'm saying? You put him on. Well, I'm bringing these children to the table. Take that back to the father. Men are starting to wake up, and biblically, this is what we should have been saying a long time ago. But then again, we weren't taught that either by the elders, who was selling us out for the Democratic Party. And that's sad. Didn't teach us the true history of what was going on in the United States. And when I was trying to teach it, them women didn't want me teaching the true history of the United States. Oh, why? Everybody is making money off of the backs of the Afro male in the United States. But now that we're leaving in droves and staying gone, a lot of the females are getting angry. And I think they're getting angry for another reason. All right. One got angry. One woman got angry at me that I would help. It's a woman that I would help, but believe that this is a one. If there was any woman that I would help. But the anger is that if we all have this attitude that we're not going to mess with older women, we're going to mess with women that can only give us a child. We're going to mess with women that respect us, right? And that will follow our lead. And if it's not you, then we out. And I believe this woman was angry because even though this woman's not really interested in me, right? Even though I am somewhere else, it angers them that I would be somewhere else. Another woman wanted her sons to talk to women that were that had children, saying, "Look, you could talk to this woman that has a child. She's a better." And the sons was like, "No, we ain't messing with no single mothers." The sons are in their early 20s, and the mom felt some kind of way about that.
Basically, she failed because the son don't want to date a woman like his mother. Because when you have respect and love with your mother, and you want to have a girlfriend that have the same quality, but if you don't like what your mother's doing or she deal with men, you will run away from that. And a lot of
if you see
a lot of guys.
If you seen what mom did to dad.
Yeah, dad. Or stepdad.
Yes, I'm in Brazil right now. Oh, not for good. Because remember, the same thing. Okay, this is what y'all don't. Okay, let me break some stuff down. Okay, I am in Brazil right now. All right. So for those of you who are new, all right. For those of you who are new, I am not only in Brazil right now, but I am, let me see how I do this. Let me do this. I can show you better than I can tell you. All right. Let me pop you out real quick, and then let me say bye to you right now, so I can pull up the Palenque video, and then after that pop back in.
Okay, and how long? 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Yeah, you'll see the video.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay, now let me pull this up. Oh, dang. Okay, I gotta pull it up under the. All right, to let you know what's going on. 330-778. Let's look at numbers. $877. Okay. So, all right, what's going on now is that, all right, just get your passport. Okay, we're going to get into that. Just get your passport and stuff. I'm going to show you 2 minutes of this.
Hey, what's up, everybody? These are the women Palenque that I spoke about in a video on YouTube. Remember I was talking about the first freed African town? Well, here they are.
Hola.
Yo hablamos con mis amigos sobre tu país
Palenque.
En
Nosotros
YouTube.
somos las palenqueras. Venimos al primer pueblo libre de América de
I
llamado
love her voice right there.
Somos parte del centro histórico de Cartagena. Le estamos haciendo unas trenzas a tu amigo.
And so, yo hablo con ellos.
All right, so that's them. Let me.
Os Estados Unidos não sabia sobre Palenque.
All right, this is one
And
of
so, ¿quiere coke? Yo voy a drogar. Yo voy.
Tiene coca para loja, para tienda. Português mi segundo língua. Loja para português. Loja em português, la tienda. Quero coca?
All right.
Quero
now-
coca?
Okay.
Certo.
Palenque is the victory free America broken the Palenque broken the chain of the slap in Colombia. Palenque is territory free. In Palenque the people speak Bantua, speak Spanish. In Palenque there is no police. The police, your grandmother, my grandmother, your grandfather, my grandfather is free. Palenque is no police. In Palenque the people speak Bantua and speak Spanish. Palenque the people practice the religion Catholic and practice and religion of Africa too. In Palenque the people believe and the medicine scientific, I believe too, and the medicine African traditional. In Palenque you can see the doctor and the medicine tradition. In Palenque, Palenque is Africa, Palenque is your home. When you are working for the Palenque, you are in my house.
Sim, sim. Eu sabia.
Sabia.
Eu acho em vídeo, em vivo no YouTube. Eu hablo eu estudar sobre Palenque, primeiro eu viajo aqui. Eu choose a viagem à Colômbia porque Palenque. Para mim, me ajuda porque Palenque. Muitas pessoas nos Estados Unidos não sabiam sobre Palenque. Não miram meu vídeo.
But now most people in the United States visit Palenque every day, every week, every month. Okay, North Carolina, Miami, Queens, Brooklyn, Washington D.C., Los Angeles, all the people in the United States visit Palenque. Palenque is home. For example, in this picture, all the people in this picture here in front of us is from the United States. Yeah.
Okay, so now let me explain something here. So we have it where a lot of people were visiting, but they'll visit, come take pictures, pay for the pictures, then leave, right? And I was like, and so Palenque still needs a lot of stuff. And remember, this is the story I did a while back, a couple of years ago, where the women wanted black dolls. And I said, I'm going to go to that place one day. Okay. Okay, you can passport. All you got to do is check the flights and see what it is. And I'm going to be in these places. For those of you that want to travel, since I'm going to be in certain places, you can wait till I get there or another brother gets there, and you'll have somebody as a guide to keep you out of trouble. Show you what hotels to stay in. You see what I'm saying? Hold on for a second. And so, I mean, you got all that going on. Let me see something else. Let me see if I have. I don't know how this is going to work. Let me do this real quick. I don't know how this is going to work.
What you doing right now?
I'm gonna pull up one of my TikTok videos. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up a TikTok video. Let me see. Of things that we that we were packing so that brothers can get an idea of what's going on. So the best way to do that is do it like this. Okay, so we are going to go view profile, NGO. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so I'm gonna do this real quick and then demonstrate. All right, it's going to take a minute. All right, so let me see if it'll download. How long would it take to download? Okay, it's moving right along because it's only 3 minutes. Okay, it'll take a minute, but while anything else you had to add, Brother Rowdy? To the Brazil convo. Is it still on? Oh, he left. Okay, just give me a moment, and so okay, there it is. All right, so basically, let me see. I messed that up, but at least I got that part downloaded. Basically, to show y'all kind of where I decided to go with this. And so the guy you heard at the end, right? The guy you heard at the end, what I had decided to do was the stuff that I'm doing in the favela in Brazil. I decided to try and parlay that into what we got going on, what I had going on in Colombia. Okay, there we go. So I wanted to parlay that into what I had going on in Colombia. All right, and so this thing is kind of becoming bigger than one area. All right, excuse me for a hot second. All right. So this thing is becoming bigger than dealing in one area. And as I meet people that have a history that we can learn from, and the other thing that I saw is when I was looking to do pictures of women from Palenque and people from Palenque, there were a lot. And I was like, that rich history, and there isn't a lot of pictures. on Google about the first released slave town in the Americas? All right. I was like, okay, something's wrong with that. Okay, so let me put this video up. All right, let's see. That ain't it.
Oh, snap.
Okay, that's the new. Okay, hold on. Got to find out the order this stuff is in. Okay, that'd be here. 4 and 5.
Okay, so reluctantnabi back again with the part 2 to all of this. So, here's the thing about traveling and when we're donating stuff, right? A lot of these things that you see, we are so literally like family. But as I froze before, I stated that I never had the physical help of.
So that's the soccer ball. So you saw the dolls. Let me do this. Let me put it back up. That was 4. Let's look at 5. All right, so you saw the dolls. Let's look at 5. Where's 5 at?
Hey, so brothers, what's up? This is the reluctantnabi back again. This is just a PSA for all the brothers that are on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm about to go live in about 20 minutes. And I'm showing you this for a reason. Minutes, and I know it's late, and so I'm showing y'all what's up. All right, so basically, I'm showing you this for a reason. So I'm gonna do this tonight, and this is the slave times. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this, and a while ago, Brazil was the place. So some stuff is going to Brazil and some stuff is going to Colombia. But Brazil is stuff for suitcase for now they're playing because we flooded Brazil the place. Right?
All right,
Brazil was the place. So some stuff is in Brazil the place. Still trying to do stuff like this. And Brazil was the first the place. Right?
Okay.
Brazil was the place.
So basically, I'm showing you the dolls there, right? Because in Palenque, what happened is they wanted dolls, and white people were donating white dolls. But that's the first free African town. And they said, well, thank you. But they was kind of upset. Now, PBS did a story about them. And so what happened is I bought a bunch of the black dolls from Amazon, and that's what you saw on the floor. But the big ones came from Walmart because they had this thing called My Something Another, and my god sister told. And so I went to Wally World and bought those. Those were the big ones were cheaper than the little ones. Unfortunately, we didn't know how many we can get in the black bag that I brought the soccer balls over here to Brazil with. All right. So what we've been doing is taking the we've been taking. I'm gonna take the dolls and stuff like that. And we're going to take all that stuff to Palenque. Now, the perfume and stuff, all the women that you see that was in the fancy dresses in Colombia, that's the traditional dresses. Now, there's a story behind that. At first, they were cutting up fruit and bringing fruit to sell in Cartagena by the clock tower. All right. It's called the Walled City, right? And so what happened is people were more interested in taking a picture with them, so they start charging them with the picture. So that's how they started making money. All right, they ain't making rich because they're still a poor town. All right, so they can't they do the best they can with what they get. All right, so it's like me. Now I don't get paid by YouTube, right? Y'all see, there's no commercials in anything because my content, they don't like me telling the truth. But because I tell the truth in such a way, I don't violate their stuff. They just say, well, you can never get paid. So I don't care. If you notice in my live, one of the things I didn't have was what's that, super chat? And even when somebody suggested I got it, I really didn't like it. I was like, if people really wanted to donate something to my channel, my Cash App and my PayPal me is in the description box. So I said, okay, I'll go there. My Cash App and PayPal me if you want to donate. And here's the thing, all of the money I would get, and so it'll go to these dolls, these magic markers, and stuff that I buy here in Brazil, like the paper and stuff. I just took out the bag because I need to take it to the favela, and I have and make up a contest to figure out who gets what and when. It's how I do when I have only a little bit of stuff. All right, and I might do it this way: put down some math problems, see what they know, and see what I can teach them because they're really, really young. And hey, Roddy Benoit, I was getting ready to say you might. Okay, it pop back in. And so basically that's that. Okay, and so these were all the ideas that I had. And so to the dude that got the passport, just go. That's what I did. All right, you have the luxury of going when the rest of us are going. Like, I'm gonna be going back to Colombia in April. So if you want to go to Colombia, I'll be there from April, May, June. I'll probably come back for a spell to pick up some more stuff and go back July, August, September, October. You see what I'm saying? All right. In October, November till April, I'll be doing Brazil. That's how I do it. Yeah, Brother Dwight got to take care of that risk. All right. So that's how I do it. All right. Now, the link is here for those who else want to join in. Okay. And so that's basically it. All right. So whoever else have something to add. Okay, who is this? Okay. All right. Hey, did you have anything else to add?
Well, not really. If you have a question, I can answer.
All right. So if y'all have any questions about Brazil, because he has the advantage. I haven't been here since April. All right. So he knows what's been going on in Brazil since then. So if you have any questions for him, he's here. All right. If people like to hop on, I just put the thingamajig here. So it's up. So to those interested in traveling, I'll be here until January. All right. And so I will say this because I fly a lot. Traveling is easy. You don't need a visa for Brazil or Colombia. All right. There's some things that you need to do before you go, like get a negative COVID test and a check made. All right. So the check mig is a form that you fill out, and I'll put the name of it here. I don't know why the C didn't type. Okay, that's it. All right, it's CheckMig, right? And it's on the Columbia thing. Hold on. CheckMig Columbia. Huh?
I don't see the chat, so if you have any question.
And it's your pre-registration. I'm gonna show you how it looks. Okie dokie. All right, so if you have any questions about Brazil, Brother Rod is here. Now, when we look at CheckMig, this is what it looks like. This is the CheckMig. This is the web address for Colombia. Brazil now has something like this. So here is the web address. And you can look it up on Google. You put CheckMig, check CHECK, MIG, MIG, Colombia, right? Or Migration Colombia. All right. So if you want to go to Colombia, that's what you need to fill out. If you want to go to Brazil, negative COVID test, and Brazil now has something like that. All right. The thing is with Brazil, you can do it at the airport. So you get there early, get to your gate, and the people at the gate will show you how to fill it out. They'll give you the web address, and you do it on your phone and then show it to them. All right. And so that's what you got to do for Brazil. All right. For each, your negative COVID tests have to be within 3 days of your travel, not 4. 4 is too early. Okay, but 3 days of your travel. Go ahead, Texas Marine.
Hey, Brother Rob, what's been going on in Brazil with the COVID and lockdown and politics?
Is there no lockdown right now? But I know.
Or any vaccine mandates?
Oh,
I know that there is a vaccine mandate.
Yeah, is there a vaccine mandate if you go, example, to the gym or things like that? But you don't need a mandate for if you go outside. But to go to the gym or public place, you may need the vaccine. Approval of the vaccine.
Any mask mandates?
The mask mandate. Let me answer that one.
Let me add one thing quickly. My girlfriend basically lost her job because she could not take the vaccine. So those things happen.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now remember, I'm gonna add this. So what has happened here politically is this: that Bolsonaro wanted everybody to be free. The governor of Rio and all the rest of the governors who are against Bolsonaro's, because they're leftists. They're like the Democrats in the United States. Only they have more power with their Supreme Court because their Supreme Court does not, the way I see it, they don't help the people really. They do things that are contrary to the people. All right, we all know in America, we know the science. Fauci has admitted that they created this thing pretty much, this thing that without admitting it, they created it in the lab. They funded it. Somebody released it. And then they made some juice that don't work at all. And the juice is worse than the original thing. You see what I'm saying? So we know all this, and we have guns. No such thing in Brazil. And so the governor, we have guns, but the bandidos have guns. And I say this because in the United States, that's what's holding our government back from doing what they really want to do. Huh?
Let me add something quickly. I believe in the state, people don't trust the government. Here, they kind of trust the government, but if you go to the favela, it's different. The favela, you don't really care about the mandate and so on, and the different eating measure. They don't really care about that. But if you go close to downtown, they kind of trust the media and the government. But in the state, people are more awake about the propaganda or the narrative the media are pushing, because when you look the news now, a lot of ads are pushed by Pfizer, right? When you look CNN and things like that, so people start to wake up, and people try to resist. I know in Canada it's the same.
Yeah, and so while he's messing with that, so while I was talking to somebody, they're forcing their people. They're forcing their people like they're New York, and this is why the Nuremberg trials #2 is very important. That's being brought by these doctors. All right. So what's going on is these doctors. Let me hit the go. All right. All right. So these doctors, all right. Hold on. Nuremberg 2. Okay. We got NurembergTrials.net. So we got doctors. Oh, lawyers. Doctors and lawyers. I was trying to remember. So I don't know if this is the thing that ends it, but this is the news. Thousands of doctors and lawyers file lawsuit for violation of the Nuremberg Code. A large team of more than 1,000 lawyers and over 10,000 medical experts, led by Dr. Rainer Filmich has initiated legal proceedings against the CDC, WHO, and the Devil's Group for crimes against humanity. Fulmick and his team presented the incorrect PCR test and the orders for doctors to describe any. Okay. I'm gonna just leave that there and give you the link to this. All right. So I'm gonna just give you the link to this. All right. So there is a. There it is. All right. So this is going to be the link to that. All right, and there's some more to that, but so that y'all can get the information, right? So that y'all can get the information. This is what's going on with this. The Gateway Pundit is doing a story on it, right? I'm pretty sure that's safe to put on here. I'm gonna see if I can share it. And I can't share that. Amazing. Wow, isn't that something? I'll just go back to this. All right, let me put that like this. Let me see if I could just share it another way. All right. Okay, I see. Let me see what's up with this. And so the Gateway Pundit put something out. The Gateway Pundit put something out. So let me see if it'll pop up. So with all this stuff going on, people. So I sent you the link. Just check out the link. With all of this that's going on, there is a concerted effort, one, to hide stuff. I was reading the 62nd chapter of Enoch to show how the Most High is going to go after these people that has done this mess. All right. And it'll be a reckoning. Okay. And so it's going to be a reckoning. A serious reckoning. All right. And so the Gateway Pundits, they did a story on this. So I don't know. Let's see. So, okay. So this is what it is. The Gateway Pundit did some stuff on this. and they're going to keep it hidden. And so basically, a lot of people are fighting back, and because of things like the Nuremberg codes and stuff like that, there is something to fight with. And let me just say, it's because of what happened in World War II. People are starting to look, they're looking at Australia, looking at what the government is doing to Australia. Understand this, which a lot of people believe is totally sick. All right, what the government is doing to Australia. And when you look at a lot of this stuff, right, it's impacting travel, it's impacting a lot of things. But a fight is going to need to be had, and we don't know who's going to be doing the fighting right now. But right now, it's starting with doctors and lawyers. In the United States, everybody's wondering, how long is it going to take before it goes from this to a civil war? Because you got people in the United States that's just not having it. Bottom line. So, I mean, Australia, they are on complete lockdown, and they have lost all of their rights. They are being monitored everywhere they go. They're locked inside their house. They can only go 3 meters, 3 kilometers. Only one person can go shopping. It's horrible what the left-leaning government is doing to them. And again, this is the same left that the United States did. All these people are following the United States, but they're following this mechanism that the United States, that the people in power, which would be the Clintons, Hillary Clinton, Pelosi, Bill Gates, Fauci, not Biden, but all these people in this eugenics, New World thing, the destruction of people's rights, and the media and all of this is in collusion. And notice, it's the left in all these countries that's taken away all of these people's rights and restricting them and shooting them in some places. But what do all of these countries have in common? Have fallen to the point where they lost their rights and freedom? They gave up their rights and their arms. Remember how Gaddafi gave up his weapons of mass destruction? The United States went and assassinated him. See, we now know that's what it is now. But when they want to get rid of you, they make up an excuse. They label you and then get everybody to hate you for no reason. And this is why I say that the biggest problem with the American government is not government, it's the people. Anytime it's easy to get people to hate another group of people without evidence of the group of the people they're hating doing anything, and without even wanting to bother to do research outside of the news media. And by research, a lot of people hated Trump, but never listened to any of his speeches. People didn't start listening to his speeches until Joe Biden started taking away their freedoms and destroying their businesses now. And now you have a bunch of Democratic so-called black people like, man, I'm so sorry I voted for this guy. But everybody was telling you before you voted for the guy. And you did it anyway. They showed you him calling us the N-word, calling our children roaches, saying that we would make his schools a jungle. But you were okay with that because you were saying, oh, but he said that way back when, even when he was saying stuff on the campaign trail. These same people did not have a problem with that, but they got angry at a guy because he made mean tweets at the press and never said anything about Afro people or did anything that destroyed Afro people more than the guy that's in office now, who actually created something, a bunch of laws that actually firsthand destroyed Afro families. But the Afro people voted for him again. So how can I get mad at the dude that's in office? I can call out the stupidity, the hypocrisy and stuff like that. But the bottom line is a bunch of ignorant people put him there. And they were ignorant because Hosea, hold on, let's get that. Book of Enoch. I'm going to show you exactly what happened. Oh, no, not Hannah. Let's get, East. I'm going to bring it up. We're not going to get this, or we're going to get it for now. Okay, let's see if this pops up. And all are get an understanding, right? So we're going to take this one down. And let's go here. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I will reject you from being priest to me. Since you have forgotten the Torah of your Elohim, I also forget your children. Our children are failing because the single moms that's been raising us and the old people that's been raising us, all right, what they've done is decided that not to teach us the history of what actually happened in this country. They threw the men out and then taught the children to do what was contrary to the scripture and what was contrary to the man, seeing the man only as a check and a tool for money, period. There got to be a reckoning for that. That's why I say it's the people. And I'm turning around, we asked for judgment, and I think this is the judgment that we asked for. Remember, when the Most High is judging the nation, even the righteous that are in the nation is judged right along with that nation. Now, at the same time, it don't mean that we are going to get the same judgment as the unrighteous. Case in point, Daniel. Case in point, the Hebrew boys that did not bow down, right? So a lot of us are going to do well because we are following the Most High's commandments. But the Christians and all those people looking for a king and stuff like that, things are not going to work out well. And the truth of the matter is, those of us that are following have always our whole life been trying to be decent people. In other words, you got people that are following the Most High because they've been striving their lives to be decent people. And then you got people that are looking for religion because they were so wicked in the younger part of their life that they're looking for something outside of themselves and outside of the people that they damaged to repair them, but they don't want to repair the damage that they did to others. So they don't truly repent. And that's the problem with the BWs. They don't truly repent. They don't try to make real amends.
Nabi, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there a problem in neighborhood, so internet, so tonight? I'd like to say something regarding what you say. The last year, I read a scripture and I read again and I watch a lot of video. One thing I observe with a lot of women, when you read the scripture and you read the story of Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, when the angels spoke and say, leave the city, but don't return. And the wife returned and she was transformed and started afresh, right? A lot of people say the reason she was changed because she disobeyed the order, right? That's true, but people forget one thing. She returned because her heart was in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. She liked material possession, she liked her status, she liked house and jewelry and so on. Nowadays, for modern women, their heart is on the system. They like their position. And when we say you have to repent, you have to change, you have to leave, you have to give up all those things because they give you a lot of privilege, true, but at the same time, you destroy the community or you destroy your children. But they love that. But now, what I explained to different person, the system, we are witness of collapse of the system, right? And people who are on the top is going down, and if we follow commandment and we have patience and we will rise to the top. But a lot of women don't see that. They want to keep
they see it
in the status. And right
they
now,
see it.
yes and no.
When women
Yes,
see it, let me tell you something. They see it. But because they live day to day, so material people, so long as they have these material things this day, don't believe they'll have it tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, they believe they have it the next day. So they live thinking only day to day. They don't think long term.
Yes, true.
So when it's gone, it's a surprise to them. But we saw that trajectory a long time ago. And so they know something is happening, but they're in or they are just simply rebelling. And I believe for the most part, most of them are just simply rebellion. The hatred in their heart is so great for the righteous that they are rebelling against the Most High. They are rebelling against men, and they don't care because no one has ever held them accountable and rewarded them for their wickedness. They think it would continue. And even when it don't continue, they think they can run back to the men. Remember, 7 women shall lay hold to one man, say, we will, you know.
Isaiah 4.1. Isaiah 4.1.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
They said to take away our iniquity. So think about it. They have iniquity running to a man, wanting him to use his name to take away their iniquity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so basically they know they just don't want to change is because they think they have a workaround because of the simps.
But I think also another reason because they're comfortable with the lie. Because
Yeah, they are. Yes.
when you have to change, you have to make effort. It requires some work or sometimes some sacrifice. But when people lying to you, you have government helping you, you have SEM, and you don't care about the truth, so you're comfortable with the lie. And I see that with a lot of people when you try to wake up. You were talking about the Democrat, right? And I told a lot of my friends, I say, you may not like the Republican, but the Democrat, in my case, are worse because they pretend to be your friend, but they're doing much worse. I prefer someone they say don't like me than someone to pretend to be my friend, and when I turn around, put poison in my coffee. So for me, it's clear.
What's up, Robert?
And people don't. But now people slowly wake up and see, well, the Democrat don't care about us. And
here's the other thing. The other people I don't trust is Republican BWs. And this is why. All the BWs that I see that are now speaking on behalf of the Republican Party only became Republican when they got with a Caucasian man. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. The lady on Fox, Candace Owens, all the rest of I don't trust them because before they got with the Caucasian man, they were straight up Democrat destroying the Afro community with that poison and feminist stuff. But then they went and got with a Caucasian man. Now they're the spokesperson for conservatism. No, they're the spokesperson for the Republicans. Afro men are the spokesperson of real conservatism, not the ones that say slavery didn't exist. All right, not the one that gives it. Well, more white people died under the police. That's because there are more white people that's going to encounter them because they are 60%, huh?
They are 60% of the demographic
of the population. Yeah. We're only, when you're talking about the Afro male, we're only 42% of 12%.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are only, and so you can't even compare the two. But if you do the straight numbers, you will be misled. And I'm tired of these dudes like, and getting on there. They're on TikTok all the time. They don't think critically, but again, they're going to perish like BWs, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody is trying to curry favor from the Caucasian for one reason or another. These dudes are realizing that Caucasians will, what do you call it? Not subscribe, but on TikTok, what do you call it? Oh,
what?
When somebody likes your, hold it, I'll tell you in a minute. And so I have followers. So most of the people that are talking, they're talking to gain followers. I'm talking to inform people. So I don't care about followers, black or white. I noticed that most of my followers are Caucasian. All right. But they know I'm telling them the truth. They know I actually believe what I'm saying because at the same time, I will point this out to them. Don't use that argument like that because there are way more white people, white men, than there are men. All right. So that means that the police are shooting Afro men at the rate where if they were shooting, if we take what they're doing and continue it to see who dies out first, the Afro man would die out long before the Caucasian men get a dent put in their population.
Yes. So
you see what I'm saying? And that's what. Go ahead.
Basically, before we are birthed, that's abortion, and when we dead, it's the police killing black men.
And so no, they're not killing as many of us in numbers as the as the white man.
Percentage-wise. Yeah,
Yeah, but percentage-wise, they're taking out a greater percentage of our population. So they're killing a greater percentage of our population than the Caucasian man. And so that's how you look at it. Who's killing a greater percent of which population is dying at a greater percent from these deaths of the police?
Let me ask you a question. Like I said, before we are born, abortionists are killing black people, and I think a lot of ladies choose to abort the boy, and some lady on YouTube.
Oh, hold it. You're right. 60% of abortions are of the boys.
Okay.
In America. In America. 60% of abortion are of the boys.
And some ladies, some black ladies say to, you know their name, they say to abort black boy. So.
Oh no, I got a troll.
Somebody needs
got rid of him.
So.
All right, and so this is basically it. Hold on.
You know what they say. Some people in the community complain when the black man go overseas or foreign country to find suitable girlfriend or wife. But tell me if I'm wrong. Abraham sent his servant to go outside Canaan to find a suitable wife for Isaac, right?
Yeah, he sent them away from the community that he was in. Yeah.
Canaan. So even in the scripture, they say, if you don't have a suitable wife in your neighborhood, you have a bad crop, you have to get away if you want to find a suitable wife or girlfriend, because for me, girlfriend or wife, it's not the same, but is a concubine, is a wife of second order, right?
A concubine is a woman that was not a virgin.
Yeah.
All right. So she's like a wife, but she wasn't a virgin. So you're not going to call her a wife. A wife is a woman who was a virgin, and you married her.
Nowadays, it's rare.
Yeah. So that's rare.
You understand my point? A lot. Even the scripture, they say, when you have a bad crop, you don't have a suitable wife in your neighborhood or your community, you go outside, because the family start with the man, the seed, right?
Exactly.
And when men also protect, and is there something women don't understand? Women think men are just a wallet or a servant that will help them to give a different service, but they don't understand men are vision, and we build this world and we have vision. Example, 1 years ago, I told my girlfriend and some friend also, we will have inflation. We have
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe 30 40 months ago, I said my girlfriend, well, inflation. We will have also food shortage, and we need to buy a seed to plant, to grow food, all those things. Is there things we analyze what's going on, and you also know the scripture, because when you read the book of Esdras, I don't remember the chapter, but I can find later. It say men want to go to different city, they won't be able to do it. The book of Ezra talk about the pandemic, the lockdown. Scripture give you prophecy, and when you look what's going on with China, and because in the 80, I believe, 80, 90s, a lot of manufacture went and warehouse went to China and India, right? Now, when they have,
but we get into we get off, and I'm gonna have to shut this down a little bit. But one of the things I wanted to point out is this. Okay, Abraham had to go somewhere else. When we look at anything we try to do, as you see the troll, either that was a Caucasian person or a BW. Who knows, right? I believe it was a Caucasian person because I put out the true police statistics and how we should look at it. The other thing is we got to stop looking at things from out of their eyes and look at things from out of our eyes. Because when they want us to see things, they want us to see things from their perspective. All right? But at no point, all right?
I think
hold on. I got to finish this out. At no point do they really look at things from our perspective. And I wonder if they'll do it this time after this trial. Because everybody believes that this, and I made a video way back and I said this, that Rittenhouse was being slandered. It was self-defense without question. And I followed everything and things that was said. I pointed out all the stuff that they're dealing with in the trial. And even the prosecutor said, well, yeah, it was prosecutor's own witness was saying, yeah, it's self-defense, right? Now, with that, I brought up the difference between that and the OJ trial. Here's the thing with the OJ trial. OJ got off, even though people like he got off because of the corruption of the police. And then what we have here is corruption of the police. Now, let me say this as a key, okay, as a key to what's going on. Okay, as a key to what's going on during the OJ trial, me as a lab tech, when I heard there was EDTA found in the blood that was on the gate, on the glove and stuff, I was like, EDTA. Oh, they planted that. I knew it was planted because I know what EDTA is. I know where it comes from, and I know how much exists in the body. So I was like, okay, if I would have been on the jury right then and there, that moment, OJ walks because the police obviously planted evidence. So it don't matter after that because we can't trust anything else. Yeah. In this one, the prosecution is crooked. Now, here's the beauty of things. For the first time, Caucasian men are seeing the justice system being used erroneously against them. Now, they're going to get off on this one with Kyle Rittenhouse because of video. Okay? They're going to get away with it because of video. But video never really helped an Afro person like Rodney King. Yeah. He was able to get a lawsuit, but them police, even though people seen the video of the police beating the Afro man, beating the crap out of the Afro man, all right, you know, that still wasn't good enough in California. Understand? In California. All right, a liberal place. In liberal places, there's no justice for Afro men. All right.
I believe the liberal place have more gun violence in the state, and they want to get rid of the Second Amendment. Believe the gun.
Yeah. They want to get rid of the protections that law-abiding citizens will have, but wouldn't stop the criminals because they're idiots, right? But to finish my point, so the point is, we as Afro people need to stop thinking like we are Caucasians, because we are not. Remember, for all the way up to today, we literally have no rights. And the reason why the white male is going through the mess they're going through is because they have been so keen on using their governmental power to find a way to stop us from getting ahead, that they was like, oh, the stuff we're doing to the Afro people or the so-called black people, it'll work on all men.
Yeah.
So now
Because
they are starting to see the light, the same light that had they seen it sooner, together we would be able to fight it. But now we are starting to come together. But I still deal with racists that pop up on anything, right? And so basically, I'm looking at a lot of my comments on TikTok, and racists just pretty much live on TikTok. All right. They try to hide in the closet, but they live on TikTok. And so I don't care. I don't care. I'll argue with them, but I don't care. Why? Because they do not order my path. Okay. I have some white friends. I want them to stay Brazilian. I have some other white friends that I want to stay white. That's why I like them. They do things different. Oh, that's different. I like redneck people. That's cool. Stay redneck. I might need your truck to drag me out of some mud. You know what I mean? All right. So there's things that you can learn from people that think differently from you.
yeah, of course.
All right.
But nowadays, Nabi, if when you say the truth, they call this hate speech, sexist, misogynoir, what else? Xphobic. So now it's things about feelings, not about the truth, about the facts, about the data. So
let me tell you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm about to close. Let me tell you what makes me different from a lot of people, and I think a lot of y'all think like me. I like when people of different cultures have their different cultures. That's one of the things I like about traveling. I know how to salsa. I like it. Right? I know how to do a lot of stuff of other cultures because I learned it from the people of that culture. I would not have known how to do it had I not met the people of that culture and thought, oh, wow, this is cool. Right? But I never forget who I am either. Or I never sacrifice who I am to think like the people of the culture. I think like them to get an understanding, but I present my culture like they present theirs. This is our problem in politics. You got a lot of people that will sell out who they are to try to look like who the Caucasians want them to be. On my TikTok and everything, I am conservative through and through as far as their platform, but I won't forget history. And even when those who are subscribed to my channel or whatever, or follow me on TikTok, I'll tell them, no, this was the history. And it starts a conversation because they understand, yeah, he's a conservative and he's about history. And this was the history. In other words, so they see you as an honest person for who you are.
But one thing happen when you have discussion with others, a lot of times they will shit test you. They will give you bullshit, and they will see.
They hold on. Let me.
No,
yeah,
what I mean is.
Oh no, for the right. They'll test you. Let me say this. Let's take the police thing I was saying. They'll test a black guy that says, yeah, more white men were killed in that. All right. And they'll test them before they test me. When I say, no, there's a greater percentage of the Afro population that was killed by police than the Caucasian population, because the Caucasian population outnumbers the Afro population. There was more people in their population because there's more confrontation. And let me say this, there's more confrontations with white men and the police because according to statistics, white men commit more crimes than black men.
Yeah.
That's a statistic, but that's not a fair statistic on them. Is it a greater percentage of white men of the white population that commit more crimes than the black men in the black population? So you got to do it by population. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, of course more white men are going to commit more crimes than black men. There's 60 million, we only got 12 million. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, they're going to run into, you know, they're going to do more stuff. There's 60 million of them. So we got to look at things in all honesty, right? It is, all right, so if 2% of the Afro male population, that's 1% is roughly what's in prison. So 1% of 15, all right, are we saying to the Caucasians that is 1%, or is it 2% of Caucasians that are committing crime? If it's 2% of the Caucasians that are committing crime, then we can say that more white males commit crimes than black males. But if it's 0.5% of the white population, and we got 1% of our population, but they only got 0.5% of their population, then we have a higher percentage. That's why you do percentage. It gives you a more fair, rounded thing. You see what I mean? And so basically, Caucasians respect critically thinking Afro people that are down for their people. Not to the point where, oh, you need to just be with a black woman. No, that are down for their people, that you're up on the facts and can show them. All right. And I don't really deal with racist white people in stupid arguments about comic books. About comic book characters, because they're going to argue their point of view from the guy they like, who's going to be white, against a black guy. There's a little beef about who can beat each other, Batman or Black Panther. All right. And what I've noticed is that all the people, black and white, that pick Black Panther actually read Black Panther comic books and Batman comic books. So they know who Batman is, but they're the only ones who know who Black Panther is. And then you got the Caucasian guys who don't read anything that has the word black in it. And they said Batman would mop the floor. And people were saying, do you know what Black Panther had to do to become Black Panther? Batman wouldn't even measure up. And the thing is, without their gear, like without the utility belt, and Black Panther without his uniform. All right. And so this is what happens. This is what happens. You can tell the racists, and you can tell the ones that you can just have the argument with, because they read both things. So you got somebody say, do you take away the herb? Okay, now I can argue with that guy, because he do got a point. How strong is Black Panther without the herb? But then without the herb, he had to beat everybody skilled, who was just as skilled from all the tribes to become Black Panther. And in the comic books, anyone, not just a royal line, it wasn't a royal line thing. The sellouts that rewrote the comics sold out and made it a Caucasian like movie, and it's not a royal line. Anybody in Wakanda could become Black Panther. It's just that the king's children had a heads up on training. All right, but anyone could come and become. So it was all comers. Not everybody decided to fight, because nobody's going to fight a losing battle. All right. And so that's basically it. All right. And so you understand it. Caucasians are like this. Some you could argue with because they know you arguing facts. And you might not, especially on a comic book thing, one said it depends on the writer, and I didn't even argue with that guy, right? But you can tell the racists because they didn't bother to learn anything about the thing, then hands down, oh, the white guy will beat the black guy. And then you can tell the ones that's looking at this analytically, oh, does he have the herb or not? If he has the herb, he wins. If he don't have it, Batman will win. But they forget what he took for him to do that. All right. And so you can have that conversation. All right. So, all right. So with that, I'm gonna let you have you got there's like 3 minutes left, bruh. You got anything to add?
Gentlemen, if you want to go to Brazil or any country, of course you need to prepare. You need to learn the culture, learn the language. You can go to different Facebook group, black man expat or foreigner expat, and ask question. A lot of people will give you information. You can search on internet, and when the first time, of course, you will go to the tourist location. Tourists, you will go downtown. But if you want to meet people or find girlfriend or suitable wife, you need to go outside the tourist location, and you may go to different city beside Rio and Bahia, Belo Horizonte, Belém, Maceió, or Florianópolis, or Fortaleza. That's a city, great city with new infrastructure, and the cost of living is cheaper than Sao Paulo and Rio. And you need to prepare. That's my best advice, and be smart too, because don't believe Brazil's heaven, everything's perfect. Is there some trade-off? Is some good and bad? But people, for the most part, are great person.
All right, and so I'm gonna add this, all right, and then close this out. So y'all seen my video that I put up earlier, and just go look at that, because I tell you the difference between the Brazilian, especially the difference between Brazilian women versus the Colombian women, and the risk that you would face in Colombia that you don't necessarily have to face here in Brazil. Okay. And so go see that video. I put it up today, and just give it a good watch, right? What did I name that video? Hold on for a second. Let me give you the name of the video. Oh, Brazil, the beginning of no border. No. Yeah. SYSBM. Brazil, the beginning of no border, brothers. SYSBM. Okay. So go look that up. All right. Go look that up. And hey, what's up, Ralph? You're late. We're about to shut it down. Okay, so go look that up and check it out. All right, it's up now. Brazil, the beginning of, and it's up now. All right, so go look that up. So with that said, peace, love, and soul, y'all. I'm out, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll be using another thing, and I will give you, I will let you know how tomorrow went with the children. Or you can follow me on TikTok. It's still Reluctant Nabi Neo on TikTok, okay? Or Reluctant Nabi Neo. It's reluctantnabi Neo on TikTok. All right. So with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul, y'all. All right. All right. Ciao, man.
Ciao.